Starting, the wheels are turning. We are live. Welcome, everybody. And since Bart's not with us yet, I'm going to say welcome to Whiskey Talk and Friendship. Is that right, Swami?
Yes. Welcome, Swami Swab, back again with the Scotch Test Dummies. Well, Scotch Test Dummy, still waiting on the other dummy.
Bart will be here. I said he's probably purposefully running late. So
he's in the middle of a game of Risk, I think, or something like that.
Monopoly.
Probably. I don't know. So how you doing?
And actually, I said Whiskey Talk and Friendship. Tonight it's Rum Talk and Friendship.
Yes, sir. My second favorite subject after Scotch.
And actually, you are the reason. Well, you're not the reason, but I know early on, I think you had asked us if we were going to be getting into rums, and I think you for a while you've been wanting to do a rum with us because we had kind of mentioned it. We want to get into rums. We've got a couple of rums. We've got a couple samples of rums that have been sent to us. And you've been saying, let's do a live show on the rums. And so we were like, okay, let's start. This will be a good intro because we don't know that much about rums. Well, and I think would you consider an aficionado?
I don't consider myself an expert, more of an enthusiast on rums. I find that it's the next step once you've been into whiskey for a long, long time. And you kind of gotten to a point where your whiskey prices are going a little too high for you and you can't be buying anything really at a higher rate. Like my cutoff, I've told you in the past, is about $250 for a bottle of whiskey. And I've kind of not tasted every whiskey that's at that price range, but I'm getting there. So I started trying out rums because rums are a little less expensive and you can get some really, really nice rums at really good prices. And I'm talking like 21 to 30-year-old rums for not even half of what you're paying for a bottle of whiskey at the same age, you know? Right. So I started trying out rums, and more today, they're starting to become more like whiskeys in their kind of styles. They're doing double casking, Solera maturations, sherry, wine finishes. They're going all out the same way as the whiskeys are. The main differences really are just what they're made of compares it to what whiskey's made of. You're talking molasses and cane sugar juice instead of your basic whiskey formulas. So.
And I've noticed a lot of rums, even what seems like a decent age, 10, 12, 15-year rums, and they're like $70, $80, $90.
Yeah.
Still coming in a lot more cheaper and reasonable than you can get into a lot of the scotches and a lot of the whiskeys.
Exactly. Like, a lot of the people out there that probably are starting to get into rums probably know like the Eldorado collection. I got an Eldorado 21 in here. Hold on, where is it? And you can get this one in Quebec. And when we talk Canadian prices, you can get this one for about $98. So, a 21-year-old product, it's nothing to sneeze at for $98 in my province.
Well, and I don't know if you've got this one or if you want to even take a look at it. The Parrot Bay Coconut Rum. I don't know. Do you got that one?
No, I don't got the Pirate Bay Coconut Rum.
No, Parrot Bay. Parrot Bay.
Parrot Bay. No, I don't have a Parrot Bay. I got no white rums. I've got nothing against white rums, honestly. It's just they're not really my favorites. I'm kind of more into the aged rums. What a white rum is technically, a white rum can be a gold rum. It's just that a white rum has been filtered enough to the point where they made it white and it's meant for mixing. So I kind of technically stay clear from the white rums. It's more of a mixer.
We mix we get the coconut rum, a whole
1 second, please.
And we get a 750 of another rum. I can't remember what kind now. And we mix it with a can of pineapple juice and a can of cranberry juice. And we call it Drop the Panties rum.
Well, it sounds like something that'd be really good in a university dorm. I would, I don't know if I would drink that myself. I'm kind of stay away from the sweet drinks, but sure. Whatever as your fancy. So getting back into the style of rums, there's if you'd like to hear about the different kinds of rums, I don't know if people have any questions about that in the comments.
Let's go. Let's just move along. One of the first one I bought, you were talking about cask finishing that they're doing now. So the first one, and a lot of rums are too sweet for me, and I really don't care for that really thick molasses syrupy finish. But our liquor store had a bottle of the 4 Square rum. from Foursquare Rum Distillery. My light bulb's too bright here, but it's the port cask finish.
Nice.
It's aged for 9 years, and it's been in bourbon and port casks. But when I tried it, I mean, there's Bart.
Alberto.
Oh, look at that. What is up?
Everybody is wondering where he's at. I said, he's running late on purpose, I'm sure.
No, I didn't. Well, I was playing a board game with the family. Boom.
Well, if you're, hey, Bart.
What's up, Swami?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
If you're going to start, Scott, with the port finish, I don't got a port finish rum on me. I do have
I told you what samples we had and what bottles we got. So let's start. I mean, where do you want to start?
Well, if you got a rum agricole, like I said, I don't have the same samples you got in-house. We kind of tried to go, we'll kind of do it and wing it the way I do on my channel when I have people on, where you guys can just kind of drink what you got on tap. I'll drink what I got, but try to keep it similar in the styles.
Okay.
So if you got a rum agricole, which a rum agricole is a rum with the H in it there. So you spelled the RHUM, and it's a sugarcane-based juice rum. Do you have any of those?
I don't think so. We've got the Ron Zacapa XO, which was sent to us from Roy. I don't know if Roy is going to be tuning in or not. I've got a sample, Bart. I don't know if you found yours or if you've drank them that we got from the Beaver a while back. Dos Madeiras Lucas 10-year Guyana rum.
I've got the Foursquare.
I got a Guyanese. We can do a Guyanese. I'll do the Eldorado 15, which is a Guyanese rum.
Okay.
All right. And this one Bart would like because it's finished in bourbon casks and very whiskey-like.
All right.
If you're interested, Bart.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's considered the best rum for a whiskey drinker in the taste profile.
A Guyana
very
rum?
much. Yeah. It's this style rum, which you said you have one that's a port cask finish and a bourbon finish. This one is a bourbon finish rum.
So what are you doing, Scott? The Foursquare port cask finish?
Well, no, I poured one that I had to stick with one. I didn't know if you found yours or not from the Beaver.
No.
Let's go. We've got how about can you walk us through the Ron Zacapa? We both have it. Or do you want to finish up with that one?
I've had the Ron Zacapa 23 on my channel where I did the review on it. As I told you, I don't have any more of it, but you guys can review it and taste and let me know your notes and everything. I came on more as someone to talk to you guys about the actual finishings and stuff like that.
Okay, well, Bart, let's do the Foursquare port cask finish.
Got it.
And the Beaver is with us. He corrected me. I pronounced it as a Dos Madeiras Lucas. It's a Luxus, Luxus.
Wow, this smells really sweet.
The Foursquare. Now this is the one, Bart, aged 9 years. It's been in bourbon and port casks. 40% ABV, aged 9 years, and like I say, finished in the port cask.
Sorry, just wanted to let everybody know who's watching. This was kind of a last-minute thing where me and Scott were talking last night, and we wanted to come on and just talk about rums and stuff. So we don't have all the same stuff, but everything you got there sounds really good. I've had the Ron Zacapa XO in the past, and it's a wonderful, wonderful rum. The Ron Zacapa 23 is probably one of my favorites that I tend to buy quite often. It's the Zacapa 23 is a Solera style finish, Solera style system in the maturation. I don't know if the XO is the same way. It might say on the box.
We have Ron Zacapa Centenario XO, Solera Gran Reserva Especial.
Yeah.
Finished,
I think that's
in cognac casks.
Yeah. I've got one in cognac cask too right here. The Plantation 20th anniversary. It's in limousine and cognac casks.
And the Ron Zacapa just says it's aged between a blend of rums aged between 6 and 25 years.
Yep. The difference between rum and whiskey is whiskey, you're going to get, if it says, let's say, a 10-year-old whiskey on the bottles, everyone knows it means the minimum age in there is 10 years. Whereas in the rum industry, it's not the same rules. You can have a rum that says 23 years of age in there, but it might have younger rums in it. So different kind of set of rules.
And Bart, before you got here, I kind of touched base with everybody. I said, you know, we've had some samples of rums. We've been talking about doing rums. We're kind of rum virgins. We just don't know that much about them.
Speak for yourself.
Well, Bart, were you in the Navy?
Oh my God, Army.
All right.
Nothing against the Navy.
No, I'm coming out against swabbies right now.
I wasn't in anything, so don't worry about it. Most I ever did was the Boy Scouts when I was like 13 or something like that.
There you go. You got me beat there.
That's my military experience. I know how to tie knots.
Roy is with us now. He arranged for us to get the sample or the bottle of the Ron Zacapa XO.
You guys have got some awesome fans. Roy sent you the bottle?
Yeah, he arranged for us to get it.
Arrangement.
That's really nice. I need some better fans. I want some bottles of Ron Zacapa XO.
We are waiting for a fan to send us a barrel. Hello, arrange for that. There you go.
I like to say Mac computers are my favorite computers. So if Apple, you want to send me a free computer, that'd be great.
Everybody's talking about the Broncos because they were at halftime. We're down 17-3 to the Giants, which should not be the case. I seen that Trevor Siemian was benched and Brock Osweiler was in winging the ball around right before halftime. So
all I know is in our whiskey pool, our whiskey football pool, Bourbon Night is kicking my ass tonight.
Wow. All I know is I haven't been watching NFL.
Yeah. I was going to bring my hockey jersey on again just to kind of take off Scotch Trooper that keeps on coming on your show with the Rangers jersey. And I was going to bring the Sens one on again, but too hot.
There you go.
Okay, so the port finish now with this, and the reason I bought this after I tried it in the liquor store, it seems like the port finish on this really turns the finish more of that dry wine, dry whiskey finish, and it gets rid of a lot of that thick, syrupy molasses finish that comes with a lot of rums.
What you want to look for, it wouldn't be the finish that's gonna get it down. The best way, like let's say if you don't want that sweet rum taste for you, it's not going to be the finish that's going to take care of that. It's most likely going to be the style of rum, like a rum agricole, which I was talking about, which is not a molasses-based rum. It's a sugarcane-based rum. You're going to get a lot less sweetness off of it. So it's going to be a bit more of a drier rum. So if you check out, like my favorite rum of all time is Santa Teresa, which is not an expensive rum, but it's rum agricole style rum, and it's got very much a dry kind of profile to it. So when you're looking at your rums, if you want to stay away from like the ultra sweet stuff, best way to go is go for a rum agricole, which is a rum with an H in it instead of a RUM, and you'll tend to find they'll be a little drier.
Interesting. Okay. Now you said they'll have age statements on them, but it's not based on the youngest liquid. How do they do it then? Is that the oldest or is it the majority thereof?
I think it's based on what's the oldest thing in there, but I'm pretty sure it has to be over a certain percentage. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure there has to be a certain percentage of the elder age rum in there. As well as the difference between whiskey and rum is that a lot of people will say, well, a lot of rums come at 40%, and they're kind of disappointed by that they're not coming in at a higher ABV. And the reason why is that unlike the whiskey industry, a whiskey needs to be 40% in order to be considered whiskey, whereas a rum could be 20% and still be considered a rum. There's no alcohol ABV volume that needs to be had in a rum. So when you're getting a 40% rum, it's actually called an overproof. It's not called just a basic rum. So anything 80 proof and above is called an overproof rum. So it's not like whiskey, where whiskey, the basic whiskey is at 40%. Whereas the 40% on a rum would be called an overproof.
Got it. That's interesting. Okay. What's the hottest rum you've ever had? I mean, do they get up real spicy?
Well, the hottest rum I have in my collection right now, and you guys should know this, it's Cadenhead, which is an independent bottler in Campbelltown.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a classic rum from them. It's at 50% ABV. Really, really good stuff. It's aged between 5 and 12 years. Amazing stuff. This one is a dark rum. And the only reason why it's called a dark rum, this one also, by the way, is a molasses-based rum, though. It's not, I think it's a blend between molasses-based and rum agricole. So, and the only reason why you're going to call it a dark rum is just the longer amount of time that's been in the cask. Whereas you'll have something that'll be on the different names you'll have is there's the white rums, which I just talked about with Scott. You got your gold rum, which is a rum usually aged. It's pretty much aged the same amount as a white rum. It just hasn't been filtered through to the point to become white. And then you're going to have your black rum, which is kind of like your Krakens, your Eldorados, things like that.
And Scott's very familiar with red rum.
Red.
Red rum. All right. Now, I do see on the back of the 4 square, the port cask finish, it does say this was aged for the first 3 years in bourbon casks and then moved for a second maturation in port casks for a further 6 years. So that's clear down the back. And this is also out of Barbados.
Well, it's very drinkable. I've finished mine.
The whole sample already?
Oh, yeah. It just disappeared. I was like, where did it go? I was trying to.
Well, all right.
It was licking the sample here. So we're gonna have to keep moving, brother.
I guess I should have got you bigger samples.
Yeah. You should have sent the bottle with me.
If you're going to do the Ronzapaca, I'm going to do my Plantation 20 with you while you do your Ronzapaca.
Let's do the Ronzapaca. Scott, you ready for that?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to bring in the whiskey dick here. I'm going to send him an invite. Bill is watching, and he wants to come in and talk rum with us. Do you mind, Swami? Bring Bill in.
Bring Bill in.
Whiskey.
The more the merrier. By the way, I just want to really quickly give a big shout out to Scotch for Dummies, because they were really generous with their. They went to a convention this weekend on Friday. They had a live show,
right?
And they made this poster for all of us in the fabric, where they had all our channels put on there, and they were giving out flyers to everybody, which was really nice of them. They didn't have to do it, and it was just a really nice gesture on their part. So I just want to say thanks, guys, at Scotch for Dummies.
Very good.
Yeah, they did. They had a good show. They streamed for 4 hours from it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I advised them to try to stick with an ounce an hour. They did not stick with that guidance, but they still did pretty good overall.
All
right,
they're good. They're good guys.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were going 12 hours.
Yeah, they didn't do the boom.
Well,
Bill.
When you go 12, you better do only an ounce an hour. That's all I'm saying.
What's going on, everybody?
There's Bill.
Hey,
Bill doesn't know. Probably most people watching know from the Whiskey Dictionary, the Whiskey Dick channel. Go ahead, Bill, and
hear that out loud.
Yourself, Bill, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself as we go here.
Sure. All right. Thanks for letting me in, and I hope I'm not stepping on your time here. So I actually just finished my my own live stream over on Whiskey Dictionary, but basically I do reviews, informational stuff, and everything whiskey. So oddly enough, I actually think it's been a while since you and I have talked Scotch Test Dummies, but when I started my channel, you guys were kind of one of my inspirations in that I looked at you guys and you had like a good amount of subscribers, and I was like, if I ever hit that number, I'm going to be psyched. So we're actually about even now. So
yeah, and then you passed us.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
That's wrong.
You've come in to rub it in.
Right.
Well, that's my humble way of bragging. So
no, that's perfect. Good. Pass. We are the dummies. That's easy to do. Don't get too excited.
Now I love to hear it when people say, "Hey, they were watching us early on," or we were the reason that they got started. I mean, it's really humbling.
It's usually like this. It's usually this. Well, I saw your show and I was like, "Damn, I can do better than that."
Yeah, exactly. That's like the comment we had the other day that came in. A guy said, "If these guys are making money from doing these videos, they're my heroes."
You know what it was? I saw your wall there, and I was like, I want somebody to pay for all my whiskey.
Bill, what's that bottle next to you beside the Four Roses?
So it's all Four Roses, actually. So
they're all Four Roses.
I did kind of a side by side tonight, and so I got the regular bourbon, the small batch, and then the single barrel. And
I've only had the small batch.
The small batch is the best in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
it's the only one I've had. You got any rum on you?
Do I only like what would you call it? Captain Morgan. So nothing worth bringing out.
Oh, there you go. Swami's got it too.
Swami's got the cow. Yeah. I love the spice.
We can test that out.
Nothing wrong with the spice rum.
No, it's good stuff. I just I don't feel like I can talk intelligently about rum, so I'm more just gonna sideline here and drink my whiskey and listen to you guys educate me.
No problem.
There you go, Swami's the educator. Are we switching to the Ron Zapaka now?
I did. I've already taken a sip, and there's quite a bit of difference between it and the 9-year-old Four Square.
Well, the Ron Zapaka XO is very similar to the Plantation, other than the Plantation is a rum agricole, and yours is a molasses base in its aging. This one's also limousine cask and cognac cask, where it's also kind of a double maturation process, where part of the Plantation 20th anniversary is aged in the Caribbean, and the other part of it's aged in the Chateau in France. So, and then they're blended together. And it's minimum age 8 years in this, up to 20 years of age for the 20th anniversary. The Zapaka XO you're telling me is 8 to 12?
No, it said 6 and 25-year-old rums.
Oh, man. Well, that's a really expensive rum, by the way. So Ron was really, Roy, it was really nice with you guys. That one is about $170 here in Quebec.
Wow.
If it's there you go. If it'll come through Ron Zapaka XO Centenario. I don't know what that means. Is that because I see that on one of my other samples here?
Well, XO just means extra old, kind of like on cognac.
And then what's the Solera?
The Solera is a system where you'll have 5 barrels on top of each other. Maturation system where it's like 5 casks and it's kind of dripping down. Same way in the whiskey Solera system when you're coming with the Glenfiddich 15 stuff like that. And they take a little from the bottom, put it back on the top, and it goes through like certain different kinds of barrels and aging. And the other difference between rum and whiskey is the casking, whereas the whiskey casks are normally metal, whereas the rum casking are usually done in wood. The actual stills are wood. Sorry, not the cask, the stills are made of wood.
And then Roy points out that the Zacapa is sugar-based, sugar cane, not molasses.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I know the 23 is sugarcane based, but I was asking you if it said rum agricole, and you told me no. Does it have an H on the front of it?
No.
It just says rum RUM?
It says...
It is good.
It doesn't even say, rum, RUM is at the bottom. From virgin sugarcane, aged at high altitude, finished in cognac casks.
Well, normally when it says RUM, it's usually because there's some part molasses in it. Usually should have the H on there. I don't mind.
I like it. It's very rich. Very sugary, but more like almost like brown sugar.
Ooh, sugar.
So Swami, I'm sure that you've probably already answered this question here, but I'm pretty inexperienced with rum, except for something whiskey that might have been aged in a rum cask. What's a good intro rum that's a little bit beyond intro?
Hold on just a second. There we go. El Dorado 12-year.
You're going to lock yourself in on the screen there.
Best starter rum. Really inexpensive. Amazing, kind of like Coca-Cola cherry Coke kind of taste to it. Nice and thick.
El Dorado 12.
Yeah, El Dorado 12-year-old. You can get it in Quebec for 36. You probably guys can get it in the States for like 18 to 20 bucks.
That's why wouldn't I buy it? That's great.
That's a wonderful, wonderful starter. And if you want to bump it up a bit, since you're a Scotch drinker, like I told people, I always recommend the 15-year-olds because it's got more of a whiskey kind of profile to it.
All right.
So it eases you in.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm writing that down myself, Swami.
And for Scott, who loves the sherry, I got a sherry female finish. So we got this Emperor rum. It's a Mauritian rum. And if you look, the color of it is extremely red from the sherry finish.
Well, speaking of color, there's a question from Travis right there. Do they add E150 or any coloring in rums?
They tend to add coloring to rums, and there are a lot of rums that they add sugar after the fact. You have to look it up online. There's a lot of good websites, just like there are whiskey websites, where they'll tell you there's color added to them, sugar added to them after the fact, and all the rest of the information you need. The internet is a wonderful thing and a good friend to all. So.
That's interesting. So they'll add in the color, but sometimes they'll even chuck in a bunch of sugar just to sweeten it up.
Yeah, well, this one, which is my wife's favorite, which is disgusting, and they call it a Navy rum, but it's not a Navy rum; it's a spice rum. This is
not that there's anything wrong with the Navy. Again, we're not
nothing wrong with the Navy. I meant nothing disrespectful to the Swabbies.
You know what? Anything that gets drink alcohol.
Sailor Jerry's, which is your basic run-of-the-mill cheap spice rum that you can get. The only good thing about it is the ABV on it is at 46%, so it's nice and strong, but the spice rum, what you're getting normally is a rum that's been sugared after the fact, and the color to it is sometimes natural, because sometimes it will be a charred cask that it's matured in, but most of the time it's added color to it, and as well for it's flavored. So you're going to get vanilla extract added in there, ginger, certain things like that. So it's almost like a liqueur in its process.
Now I've noted I haven't added any water to anything so far. Everything's at least 40%. Is it normal to add water to rum, or do most people, because it's so sweet?
It depends. Like on my Cadenheads, I will add water because it is at 50% alcohol, so it's pretty high up there, and it does tend to need a little bit of water to really showcase what it has. And like all liquors, or alcohol or spirits or beverages, adding a little bit of water doesn't hurt anything. You should always try every single possible combination with everything you got. Meaning, even people are going to yell at me saying I'll put ice in my whiskey sometimes. I just want to see what differences there are to it. Like I did an experiment because of Whiskey Wise, where I had my Springbank 12, where I tried, and everyone knows Springbank 12 is my favorite whiskey of all time, the cast strength. I tried it every which way, and then Whiskey Wise told me to add an ice cube to it, and I got this incredible salted caramel note off of it, and it was like a brand new experience all over again. I was really happy. Always try everything.
I agree.
I'm going to pour a couple of these out, and I had samples from the Beaver, and he's in here commenting. One of them is a 30-year-old Centenario rum. Now, these he had sent a couple of samples to me and Bart both quite a while back when we first started talking about doing rums. And Bart, I think, already drank his at some point, which I've drank one of the tequilas and one of the rums as well a while back.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, a while. But I've got Beaver, if you're watching, I've got the Centenario 30-year rum, and then the Dos Madeiros Luxus, which is a 10-year-old Guyana rum, and then it was finished for another 5 years in PX casks.
Well, I'm telling you, that Ron's the Kappa was great.
That is good. Now the Foursquare port cask finish that we started with, I believe is $50 to $60 range.
And Ron Zapaka, what range is that? Is Whiskey Scout in the house?
I do. Well, the Beaver and Mrs. Beaver are both watching. And I don't know if I've seen the Whiskey Scout commenting.
Oh, all right. Normally he'll tell us what prices there are in the comment section really quickly. He's like on his Android the whole time, ready to go.
Just nailing it.
I started watching his channel a bit more. He's really getting there. He's good.
Is he? Yeah, I've seen him recently. I haven't subbed yet, but meant to check him out.
Yeah. There was some stuff I wanted to bring up. I was supposed to have my live show last night, but then Scott contacted me to do it tonight, so I didn't do it last night. I really want to say thank you to Santa Cruzan for becoming my third patron. So thank you very much, Santa Cruzan.
Nice.
And I appreciate the support. You're bringing me one step closer to not actually having to go to work every morning, and I can stay at home and drink.
Wow, there you go.
I don't think these
I'm
awesome.
going to be living the dream eventually.
That's right.
I'm going to buy some Tivas, relax off of that sweet Patreon.
The Dos Madeiros Luxus is very sweet, very sugar cane. I mean, just like the powdered sugar cane sugar that you'd buy at the store. Very, very rich in it.
Do you get a lot of fennel? Do you find off your rums?
What describe what the fennel?
Like a black licorice kind of aftertaste note.
Like anise.
Yeah, anise. Good description.
Some say anus.
Oh,
keep it clean.
Uranus instead of Uranus.
Oh, dirty.
We talked about that in a video, Bart, where your kid at school, the teachers now pronounce it. What was it?
Oh, they were real clear to tell him it was pronounced Uranus.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Uranus, yeah. That keeps the laughter down from the kids.
That takes a lot of talent to be able to add urine and anus into one word.
They got to give it out of both ends.
Yeah.
Urine or urinatus. All right, I've got the other Ron Zacapa going right now. What is this? The Centenario?
You guys got 2 rounds of practice. I'm jealous. I finished my 23 and I got to get another bottle soon.
Centenario is really good. It's spicy.
You only had one sample of it, Bart.
What are you talking about? No, you gave me the
you tried the Criterion.
Right. Dang it, you're right. It's the Criterion.
Which
the
one?
Next bottle up.
The one you're on now, the third one, is the Criterion?
It is. Sorry, that's on the Criterion. The four
square Criterion, and this is the one Fred Minnick said, if you see this in a liquor store, don't just buy a bottle, buy every bottle they got.
Yeah, I like it.
And this one was $90, and it's the third one I went to here, and it really stands out. It's 10 years old. It's been aged in ex-bourbon and ex-Madeira casks.
Very nice. The one that everyone on my channel keeps on telling me about, so I'm on the hunt for it big time, is the Diplomatico 10-year-old. And everyone tells me it's their best rum they've ever had, so I'm on the hunt for it. I've only had one Diplomatico, and it was just the regular base stuff, which was decent, but I want the Diplomatico 10.
Now, Bart, I will point out the Criterion is 56%.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow, nice.
What's coming through on the comments? I don't have my computer open or anything, so I'm not seeing what's going on.
A lot of people arguing about who is your best patron there.
Who's my best patron?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about on Bart and Scott's channel or mine? Because I only got 3 and they're all great. I got Mel, who's awesome, Santa Cruzan, and I got OG for Hire. Yeah. All good people.
About their football teams as well. So.
They're always running.
My football team wears skates.
Nothing to be proud of, Swami.
Told you I'm gonna draft all kickers for my team on our little whiskey review team football pool. I just want to put a whole line of kickers just for fun.
Wow.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, if I'm gonna lose, I want to lose bad.
Well,
I don't know why.
Problem is, you really got to get to that 50 yards. Then you get a chance.
Tom R is commenting. I forgot a couple of weeks ago. He said, "Hey, remind me when you guys do the rums." But he's commenting Tom R. But he says, Great commenter, always in here. But he says Foursquare distills using both pot and column stills, and then blends them to get the flavor profile they want. Now I can tell you that criterion at 56%. I don't know where that 56% is at in there, because it's really smooth and light and sweet and full of flavor at the same time. But if Tom R, I don't know if you've tried that one, or anybody that's watching, even Roy, that Foursquare criterion is definitely one to look for.
Well, to me, the history of rums itself has always been fun for me. Just the whole fact of like pirates and the Navy that used to use it, because brandy wouldn't, like anything great wouldn't stay when the Navy was like stationed in the Caribbean. So that was the whole point of rum for a lot of them, was that rum seemed to be the only thing in that temperature and that heat that would actually get better with age, whereas anything great based like brandies and cognacs would tend to go sour after a few months. So I don't know, it's things like that that kind of get me into rum. Is like the whole history about it. Same thing with whiskey. You know, it's another drink that seems to follow the same kind of guideline as whiskey for collectors. The only difference is it still hasn't become too popular yet, where I know it's going to be the next big thing. It's going to be rum, because we've gone through the Scotch. The rye is now the big dog on the barn. Everyone's going after rye, and I'm thinking rum's going to go next. So I want to enjoy the prices while I can before everyone starts hoarding it and stuff like that, and the prices go crazy. So
well, that's good foresight. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Swami, what James thinks is asking, what's good to clear the palate between different rums?
What's good to clear the palate between different rums? For me, when I'm drinking rum, James, if I want to be honest, when I'm drinking rum, I like drinking beer. So I usually have like stouts or something like that, because I'm drinking rum in the summertime. So between my rums, I have like a cold beer. Usually nothing too crazy, like an IPA or something like that.
So when you cleanse your palate, you just open a new bottle.
Yep, that's it.
Cleanse the palate, open a new bottle.
That's good, yeah. I'm going to be like, I cleanse my palate with whiskey, more whiskey, and then rum, and then I go back to the rum, and then I throw in a Scotch whiskey.
I cleanse my palate.
I haven't gotten to the point where rum, like I've gotten with whiskey, where I'm doing tastings yet. The whiskeys, I'm doing my tastings with my friends, and yes, we have our special techniques on cleansing and stuff like that. But when it comes to rum, I'm usually drinking rum on my own or at a bar or something like that. I haven't gotten to that enthusiast point yet where I'm going crazy with rum tasting nights and having a round table of people. It's still more my adventure.
Sweet.
This 30-year-old Centenario from the Beaver is delicious as well, man. It is really, really sweet and just really rounded. And I don't know if you're still here, Beaver. Give me a little some comments on what this is so we can see.
So question to you guys about the Ron Zapaca. So did you find it less sweet, Scott, or more sweet than the first?
This, you know what? I mean, I'd have to really get in here and spend some time. They're all sweet, and they're a lot sweeter than what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. They're all better than I imagined coming in. These are all really ones, and I haven't spent time just sitting and sipping with rums, but I could see really any of these sitting down with and spending some time getting to know them.
I agree with that.
Do you find that the Zapaca had a nice, really fruity blast, kind of like a peach and pears and stuff like that, but more of a mushy kind of peach to kind of get like that kind of cognac note?
I did not get that. Did you get that, Scott?
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't say there's without sitting here. I mean, spending some time and going back and forth between them. I'd forgotten until you just said that the Zacapa was even finished in cognac cask, so I wasn't getting any of that. And that could be maybe it's canceled out just by some of the rum sweetness to my beginner palate. And another question come in about what's a good first rum to get into drinking. And Swami, you said that you had the El Dorado 12 came up as a good
15.
One. Yeah, the El Dorado 12 and the 15 are great. One that's really popular and you can probably find anywhere, which is good, are the Appleton Estate XOs, which are nice on and it's not too expensive. So you can go that route too, and that's readily available everywhere. Some of the Havana clubs are older bottlings, which I know in the States you guys can't get anything from Cuba. Are pretty good stuff too.
Are we now? Are we now? Didn't they get the embargo lifted?
They did, but then Trump reignited it or something.
Oh, I'm confused.
Trump said anything Obama can't stick around while he's president. So
Pretty much.
What happened? We had all the people over, all the ambassadors were getting sick or something. What happened with that?
I don't know. No politics on Scotch It.
Politics.
No politics and no religion, Swami. Come on.
No, that was me bringing it up. I'm like, did they drink? Did they get bad Cuban rum? I mean, what happened?
I don't know.
So, Swami,
I do not know.
So,
sure.
Obviously, whiskey, you got your Glencairn. Is there a rum glass that makes sense, or are you pretty much using the Glencairn for anything you want to smell or taste?
Well, any tulip-shaped glass would work. I have not seen an official rum glass as of yet. If someone out there knows of it, from what I can see at bars, the official rum glass tends to be a shooter glass and a bunch of girls around the bottle. But I have not seen an official rum glass. I tend to drink it out of
I'll guarantee at least Riedel.
Yeah, Riedel will have one.
That will make a rum glass.
Probably. I'm sure there's a company that's made one, but there's no historical glass that I know of.
Yeah, Riedel will have it. They got like 1,000. I love their cognac glass. It's real fancy.
I saw those barred up at Jacob's Liquor, and they've got their little cigar shop. They've got Riedel glasses, and they've got them on sale right now. I think they were 20% off.
Ooh, might need to pick it up because my son won't admit it, but he broke one of mine. So
it sounds like somebody else I know that doesn't admit stuff.
I admit, I own it. If I broke it, I'd be like, you could walk in, I'd be like, hey, I just broke your glass. And you'd be like, what? I'd be like, I did it.
So
whoa, that was like a little back slap. What was that? It was like a back of the hand.
What?
Well, you don't admit when you're wrong. Let's put it that way.
I am not often wrong. That's the problem.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Cheers
I
to
don't
that.
make a lot of stands, yeah, but when I make a stand, that's it. I'm like, well, I believe I'm right on it.
George,
if you say it loud enough, you'll be considered right at the end, Bart. Be as loud as possible, and people will just agree.
Right. I have had people just say, yeah, you're right, and they do it just to shut me up, and I don't like that.
No, I think it's because you're 6'9" and just like very imposing. So we just
a lot of hair, very hairy. Yeah, 6'6" with hair. They're like he's like a Sasquatch. Oh yeah, 6'6" hair. They're just like agree with it.
I'm 6'2.5" or so, and man, I couldn't imagine.
I got a rule: once you get over 6 foot, you don't count halves. Bam.
Yeah.
Half.
Fair rule.
If anything, I'm trying to shrink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in high school. I was 6'4" as a senior. I'm like, please don't let me get freakishly tall. I'm not good enough at basketball.
Dude, I played center in basketball. I still sucked, but
that's the key. That's all I played. I was a center, and it turns out you can't do much as a center in college at 6'4" or 6'6".
Yeah, I couldn't dribble at speed to save my life, but I could rebound pretty much just because I reached over people's heads.
No, you and me are kismet right there, brother. That's it. I dribble like special needs child.
I was a goalie. I didn't play basketball, so hockey's it.
That's good. You're good. You're skates.
Yeah.
Okay, someone can see where it's at. Travis Faircloth asked me which rum was my favorite out of these four.
Oh, that's
I got to tell you, going back and forth, that Criterion is winning out.
Criterion just jumps up.
The 30-year-old Centenario is almost a little too sweet for me. It's very good, though. It's very rich and smooth, but almost a little bit too sweet. Right behind that is the Dos Madeiros. Little bit too sweet on that one as well. So my number 2 probably is the Ron Zacapa.
Nice.
Oh, these are all really good, though. Don't get me wrong. I'd sit around and sip on any of these, but that Criterion out of this lineup is kicking A.
like I always tell people, if you have a chance and you see it, my personal favorite rum right now is the Santa Teresa 1776. So if you have a chance, Scott or Bart or Billy, if you see it, go grab it, because that's I find best rum for the price. We get it here for about $55. I'm sure if you can find it in the States, you probably get it for about 35 or something like that. And it's just wonderful, wonderful stuff, especially for whiskey drinkers. Super dry, very oaky, very nice stuff.
What is a less, Jason Voorhees is asking, recommend a less sweet rum.
I just did.
Okay, there you go.
What was that?
Santa Teresa, 1776. Go grab it.
And what'd you call it? I wrote that down, but I'm not Santa what?
Teresa, like Mother Teresa, but Teresa. Terrsa, I think.
Got it. There it is, 1776.
Yep.
Boom.
It's a Venezuelan rum from Caracas. Wonderful stuff.
Now, most of these, though, you can get in. I think the most expensive rum I've seen in the stores is $150, maybe $200, somewhere in that range.
Good.
I've seen them go higher.
It seems like most of them are coming in, that are the higher end rums, anywhere from $50 to $100 range. I mean, the ones that you can get that are really good, and then the finer, the higher end. But I don't know if I've seen any over $200, maybe even $170, $180.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about rum. Like I said, it hasn't hit that collector's market yet. Really, there are rum collectors, but it really hasn't hit that hoarders collector's market, the venture capitalist market, the speculators. They haven't attacked it like they've done to our wonderful Scotch yet. So that's what I'm going to say. Enjoy it while you can, because they're going to come after it eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll definitely start branching out into some rums. I don't know if we'll do a third show every week.
I think that's your answer.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta do a fourth show of schnapps, different kinds of schnapps. That's what we need.
There's my German heritage there.
Yeah. 18-year-old Bill is not a fan of peppermint schnapps.
18-year-old Scott is not a fan of peach schnapps.
Oh, yeah, if we do that, we'll have to do a 6 show with Boone's Farm. Break in some cheap wine.
What do you got, Swami? What'd you get blasted on when you was 18? Just one. Just give us one.
Yeah, when you were on skate.
Not the whole list.
What the worst booze that I've ever? Well, I got into an alcoholic coma when I was 18 years of age on my 18th birthday, and it was off of wild turkey.
At least you had good taste.
So I can't even look at a bottle of 101 without feeling like I'm going to throw up. So I won't even stare at it. I woke up with a catheter in me and everything. It was pretty bad. I drank an entire bottle on my 18th birthday because in Montreal you're legal at 18. And I went to the store, I bought a bottle. Me and my friends bought each a bottle, and I just chugged it down. Oh. And being 18, my friends thought the best way to wake me up would be to punch me in the face. That didn't
better
work
than
out.
In the other end.
Yeah. Well, they were wasted too. And then I wake up and my mom's in front of me with the most disappointed face ever. And then I look down and there's a tube inside somewhere, and I just bawled it out.
I got punched in the face and
yeah. I had a black eye. The nurse says I was speaking in a Scottish accent the entire night, saying, "Where's my lucky charms?" It's fun. Good times.
I've added, Tom R is asking if I've added a drop of water. I think I added a drop of water all the way down the line. But still, Tom went and he had a bottle of the Criterion that was unopened. So he went and got it and he opened it up. So he's having it.
Oh.
That's hiding that 56%. So, well, this one is dangerous. I can tell you that much. Well, the fact is most of these rums are, because there's, I don't get any alcohol burn. Really any sense that there's alcohol in them.
They go down nice and easy. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be easy. This is the Caribbean. You're supposed to take it nice and easy,
There you go.
You're supposed to feel relaxed. I said that Irish way.
I think the beach is supposed to be involved, and you know, an umbrella on the sand.
Usually some punch mix with that rum, and
yeah,
good-looking girls and thongs.
A drunken pirate ship.
Well, that's why I brought up Bill the Parrot Bay coconut rum, but Swami didn't want to get into that one.
Yeah, I give him a little bit of credit on that one, actually.
I did have a girl tell me that goes good.
It's almost as good as Zima. It's almost as good as Zima.
Yeah.
You take a fifth of this and you mix it with a fifth of another. Just pick any other rum. Make sure you get the 90 proof, and you throw in a quart of cranberry juice and a quart of pineapple juice, and you got what we call drop the panties rum.
Yeah.
You can figure out where that name comes
More
from.
like hit the floor rum.
Wow. I've never seen that racy.
I want to hear the story behind that, Scott.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah, I was drinking that one night, and my panties came right off. Woke up in the hospital with a catheter.
Turned out
I bring my A material for this classy show every time.
That's right. He'd been getting punched all night.
Yeah. Hey, some people pay for that.
I wish I had some rum to drink with you guys.
I know.
I have
some on Four Roses.
That Four Roses looks good, though.
Well, so check this out. So I just did that live stream. Let me just show this right here. These are all dirty. So I had a heck of a night.
Ooh,
you got that big one. You got that tailored.
Yeah, this is the what is it? The tailored milestones there.
Tailored milestones. I like to call them tailored D.
Yeah, I like it for, you know, just kind of like the chilling out whiskey. Not something I'm necessarily gonna, you know, try for the first time, but
yeah,
throwing a rock in there and just kind of sipping some whiskey. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the fluted shape kind of, it's like a fat Glencairn.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's exactly how I described it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't they kind of make glass, though? They called it the Canadian Glencairn, which was pretty much the identical thing.
Did they?
Close.
I'm not sure.
I've got a few Canadian Glencairns that I picked up. But this one's, I mean, it's almost just like a Glencairn, but it's 12 ounces and it's just fat.
Well, this keeps staring at me in the face. I know it's not rum, but I really want to drink some of it because it's just the best whiskey I've had all year.
It wouldn't be the Scotch Test Dummies if we didn't pull out either a bottle of Wow or a peated Scotch.
Well, this is a Bart would love this. This is a PX Finish Kilhoman, bottled at cask strength, single barrel, 8 years of age.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to go for that.
Do it.
All right.
Just real quick before we move on to Scotch and other whiskeys, Tom R. points out for anyone that wants a great rum resource, look up Rum Ratings website. There's an app for your phone also.
Oh, that's cool.
Rum Ratings.
Yeah.
Do you guys use any whiskey apps? So I know distillers out there, and there used to be another one called Dram It or something, but none of them are as good as, like, I don't know, there's a beer one I use. I forget what it's called. Shoot, what is it called?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. A lot of people.
Untapped. Yeah.
I've tried a couple and I just don't stick with them.
Yeah.
The best whiskey app out there is YouTube, and it's the Whiskey Fabric, everyone. That's where you want to go to get your knowledge and your information.
Now, wait a minute, Rob. Rob, are you still watching Whiskey in the Six? You're working with an app for collectors or for people to post their collections.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's good.
I forget what it's called.
Myself. Maybe I won't.
It's called Back of the Bar.
Back of the Bar.
I don't know. I made that up.
Claire just asked what we think of now this one's coming up. You're going to have to wait, Claire, but the E.H. Taylor 4-grain Jim Murray's Whiskey of the Year. We'll
that one did well.
Have to wait till Wednesday to hear what me and Bart think of that one.
Wednesday show.
I'll be in on Wednesday then. I'll check that out.
What? I kind of wanted to ask the commenters because there's Macallan's 15 came back to Quebec recently, and I've never tried it. the fine oak. I want to know if it's worthy of buying.
No, is it the fine oak or a standard Macallan 15?
The fine oak. Because it's 144 in Quebec, and I know that the 18 is something like 370. So I figure 3 years difference. You know, but it's a different kind of style. Is the fine oak just spiced barrels, or is it actually sherry finished?
The fine oak is 3 barrels.
Okay, what is it?
Bourbon and Oloroso sherry, and is it virgin oak?
Because I'm getting a lot of people wanting me to do Macallans on my channel, and I haven't done really any other than the Sienna, the 12, and the Select Oak. I was thinking about purchasing the 15.
Yeah, the fine oak is basically a triple casking, but they're usually a lot lighter sherry because only one of them is a sherried cask.
What's better, the fine oak or the Edition 2?
You know, I've only had samples of the fine oaks, and they're okay, but the sherry is lighter. I really like that heavier, deeper, richer sherry. So to me, the number 2 would come out on that one.
Well, thank you.
But that's just, I mean, and that's based on samples that I've had of the fine oak. I'd like to, we need to get some bottles and dive into those and see.
I saw on the shelves and I was kind of excited because I kind of been bad-mouthing Macallans for a while about not bringing aged products back to Quebec. And recently I saw the 12 come back, and now the 15's there. So I'm hoping the 18's about to follow. I've seen the 21 a lot, but that's just, you know, I'm not going to sell my house to get a bottle. So it's not going to happen. I know they're selling it for $1,550, I think, the 21-year-old here. I was like, eesh.
I can't imagine it was really worth that, you know? Like,
I'm with you.
Today.
Well, someone bought the Dalmore, what was it, 1963 or something like that for $65,000 a few weeks back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but you get into that point, they're buying, you know, $20 million homes, Maseratis, and $65,000 Scotch.
It's all about status at that point. I mean, I think, what is it, the Macallan M something or other, it was like the highest selling ever was, I think it was 560,000 or 650,000. I forget if I'm getting those backwards or not. It's like, why would you even bother?
Right.
Especially because they sell them for $5,000. You can get Macallan M. It was just this one specific bottle.
Right.
ooh, that's so good. I'm sorry, this Kilhoman's just amazing.
Bill, are you mainly doing bourbons? Are you doing scotches as well?
I'm doing it all. I've just been so here. It's funny because that same question came up about an hour ago. Bourbons are more affordable in the United States, so I've been doing it to get more content out there. But I am actually doing scotches all next month. So
cool.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Actually, you went live about 7:30 or so, and I clicked on you to tune in, and then after about 2 minutes, you went off, and I didn't ever see another email come up that you was live after that one.
So I don't do enough live shows, and I'm an idiot, and I clicked the wrong button. I mean, I don't know if you guys use OBS, but like I have I had the video key in OBS. So actually, if you look closely, that one said Spayburn, which was last month's. So whatever. Anyway, I ended up doing another one. It started at 9 o'clock on the dot. So I totally just kind of screwed my own audience there. But oh well.
Oh, I saw that. I was going to go watch your show, and I press, and it's just a black screen with like some writing on the bottom scrolling across, and I was like, and it was 23 seconds or something, and I was like, was that it?
That was me testing something and apparently hitting the wrong button. So
no, but honestly, your shows are really well done. I just want to tell you that I am a fan. It's the digital effects, the way that you've done it with the scroll on the bottom and all the information coming in, then you got the pictures kind of popping out. It's really professionally well done, and the lighting, which me and Scott were laughing before we got on the air, because I can't get my lighting right to save my life, and I bought white lights and everything, and I at one point I looked like I was about to start telling ghost stories.
Well, if I can give you a little advice, you got to get the camera either looking directly at you or slightly down, not up. It's a fine angle.
How do I avoid the camera from seeing my huge nose?
But you gotta go down then.
I'll just edit it out.
Stack it on some books or something. Yeah.
No, we use we don't do the OBS. We looked. It took us a while to figure out how to live stream because it's just not real user friendly with YouTube.
It's really not.
No, it's not. And we talked about it. What, Bart, for a year and a half or so?
Yeah, it was. Well, for a year and a half, I kept thinking I could do it. And I couldn't even get to the point where we had like a failure of the link. I mean, it was just like, what the hell? I set up a business account. That was wrong.
Yep.
And finally, we parked it and we ran across a buddy that was an author that was doing live streams through Google Hangouts. And he said, oh, yeah, it's tricky. I'll walk you guys through.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he told me, he sat down with me at work and walked me through it and showed me. And so a couple nights later at home, I go to do it, and it's so complicated, or it's like click here, click there, do this, do that.
Right.
A couple nights later, I lost it. I couldn't figure out. I had to call him up and get him on the phone and say, walk me through this again to get to where to do these what we do now, which is just through YouTube. That's not even through OBS, which I think is even a more complicated platform because we even looked at that originally.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, I'm a software engineer, so all this stuff is pretty much second nature for me.
There you go. Yeah.
It still took a little bit of effort. I mean, honestly, as you saw, I screwed it up earlier tonight. But what I noticed is with like YouTube, and I don't want to derail too much because our audience is going to get bored, but you got like the live events and then like the instant, like I want to go live right now. And the live events is really where it gets all screwed up. So yeah, I don't know. Like doing things, as you notice, I do pretty much all of my live streams alone because doing it with other people is way more complicated.
Right? Yeah.
Part of the reason I haven't had any of you guys on my show yet is because I'm nervous about even trying that stuff.
Well, and the Scotch 4 Dummies, they're using OBS.
Yep.
What I do like with OBS is you can import the chat box into the video. But
you have to pay for OBS?
With OBS you can. Yeah. But with the Google or with YouTube that uses Google Hangouts, you can't do that. And it just seems like that would be such an easy fix for YouTube and Google to do.
I don't know. I think they have a long way to come.
This platform, we got 4 people on here in different places. So it jumps around to whoever's talking. Now only one can talk at a time, but the video syncs with whoever's talking. But you can't. Why can you not import that comment box in here so people watching this later can see what the comments were coming in?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's very weird to me. Like it feels like they have so much to go, especially because like YouTube and Google Hangouts, it's the same parent company. Like they should be able to integrate properly with each other. And then just like you said, having the comment on it, everybody does that. So why isn't that just built in? I don't know.
They're too busy stealing all the information they need off of you for all the porn sites you're watching, so they can't really focus on it.
No, it's all those videos of you getting bore punched. That nurse put that video up, baby. That baby's coming back.
No religion, no politics. Hold on. No religion, no politics, no porn, Bart.
That's right. Man. I said
no porn?
Not porn, but bore punch.
What about whiskey porn?
Montreal, look at the bottles. I gotta help them out.
A lot of that.
They're my new patron.
Well, I'm still going back and forth on my 4 rums here, just sipping back and forth.
Yeah,
and Tom R points out that Criterion is dangerous. He added some water to it even, and
I pulled down a Lagavulin 8.
There you go.
Oh, Scott.
Oh,
yes, Swami.
Bill actually from Bill here was the one that told me to grab it. So
nice, awesome.
I'm gonna be reviewing that on my channel very shortly.
Did you crack it open yet?
Yeah, I cracked it open on Saturday night while I watched my Ottawa Senators kill Edmonton. So that was great, and I had a couple, and it's pretty good. I don't want to talk too much because I got to review it on my channel.
Yeah, so I'm not for your review. That's good.
But yeah, it's good stuff.
Remember, no politics, no religion, no porn, no hockey on our channel.
Hockey, porn, pretty.
Yeah. Hockey, yeah. In Canada, hockey is porn, Scott. So.
Dude sleeps with a hockey stick. I mean, come on.
He's got a blow up Wayne Gretzky doll.
That's why doggy style is the #1 position in Canada, so we can both be watching hockey at the exact same time.
Yeah. Well, you'll be happy to hear, Swami, my team is the Bruins. So, I mean, at least we don't suck.
Yeah, you must hate us. We've knocked you out 3 years in a row.
Well, you know, there's other reasons to hate Canada. Politics. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
What? By the way, Scott, what time is it?
10:06 Central.
All right. So my wife is giving me the evil eye from outside of the French doors. I can see her right through the glass, and she's knocking on it. She wants me off. So
does she know you're on with the Dummies?
Yeah.
Yes, she doesn't care.
Probably heard the word porn yelled 5 times. Then she heard your doggy style comment and she bam, bam, knocking on the glass, bang, bang.
She loves doing this whenever I do a live show. It's she's become a YouTube celebrity for interrupting me in my live shows. It's great.
Good.
Tell her just to come
Scott
in.
was on my show once.
Tell her to come in and grab you by the ear and yank you out, and then get the feed real quick.
Get the old cane.
Yeah.
We can wrap it.
Anyways,
Swami, if you want, Bart, you want to stay on with Bill for a little bit, or what's your time range?
Nope, I've got to go too.
Yeah,
okay.
That's no problem. It's 11:06 here, so I'm working about hopping off.
Well, everybody, stay on the line. Stay on the line here for a second. We'll call it quits. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Hopefully, you got some good recommendations on some rums. I think we got some good info here. We got at least some direction to go with them. I'm going to sit here and drink these 4 that I've got poured. Thanks to Roy for the bottles and the Beaver as well for the samples, arranging for us to get them.
Boom.
I want to really quickly thank Scott and Bart for having me on again. For those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel, it's Malted in Montreal on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter, Malted in Montreal on Twitter, and my catheter video on Pornhub. Also,
there you go.
All right, so hopefully subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 400. I want to hit 400 subscribers really soon. And if I can hit 500, I'm going to do a mini barrel giveaway.
Nice.
Sweet.
Bill, go ahead and tell us about yourself, where to find you and everything, and then we'll close your channel.
Sure. Well, my name's Bill. I'm from the Whiskey Dictionary. I apparently like to interject myself into other people's live streams here. So thank you, Malted and Swami, for letting me jump in on your rum thing. Actually, you have some really good information. I'm going to pick up one of those Eldorado, either 12 or 15, whichever one I see first. So
Nice.
I do whiskey reviews, whiskey information stuff. Check out my channel, the Whiskey Dictionary, and continue watching these awesome guys.
Excellent. Now stop stealing my hairstyle.
All right.
Ismet. Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro, dummy.
Cheers, everybody.